Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we are going to be talking about the Halo 3 rat. That's right, the same Halo 3 rat that spawned so many of those random memes throughout the Halo community. So, what about these rats? Well, as you know, in-game, the Halo 3 rat does appear on a few missions in the game. One of the more notable ones is probably Crow's Nest. And on this mission, you just see them roaming around innocently, just minding their own business. But what you probably didn't know is that these rats actually have a dark little secret about them that Bungie added a long time ago, but never actually used. So let's just give you guys a close look at the rats first. So this is what the rats normally look like when they're alive and dead. When they die, they just assume this position, and that's what they look like on the outside. But someone on my Discord server named I Like My Name actually showed me what the actual rat texture looks like in the game files. What you see here is the rat texture that's used on the in-game model, and you can see Bungie actually added textures for the insides of the rats, including like their intestines, their spine, and everything. Meaning, it seems like at some point, based on these textures that Bungie added, that they were planning for rats to be bisected or decapitated at one point. So, we were all curious what that texture would look like in-game. So to show you guys, we spawned this rat here. Just ordinary rat, made it a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And now we're just gonna use the energy sword and cut it in half. So there you go. Now we have two halves of the rat, sort of. And as you can see in game, this is a pretty close approximation of what those textures would look like. And I say close approximation because what you see here, and while this is the actual in-game texture, this is not an actual in-game model. So even though Bungie added the textures for the insides of the rats, and it would imply that they were originally planning on having decapitation for at least animals in Halo 3, they never actually used it in-game at all, anywhere. So if you guys remember my previous video about Halo 2, the Spartan and Elite's first-person arms, if you separate them from the body, you can actually see that in-game, all the time, the arms actually do have the the meat and bones actually added to the ends of the arms. And likewise in Halo Reach, in my more recent video, you can see that the first-person body of the Elite, if you cut the Elite in half, if you look down at the torso, you can see the insides of the Elite as well, their organs and meat and everything. And that's all in-game. That doesn't actually require modding to add them. It's all there while you're playing. You just can't see it normally. And you need modding to be able to see it easier, or some glitches occasionally. But for the rats in Halo 3, they're never actually used in-game at all. The in-game model that you see here, it does not actually have decapitation built into it, nor do the textures show up inside the model at all, anywhere. So, how do we get this working then? Well, in order to show you guys what this looks like in game, in order to represent it for you, we had to actually create our own custom 3D models for the two pieces of the rats, and then after that we had to inject the models back into the game, apply the original textures to it, which were a little glitchy on a custom model, so that needed a little bit of fixing, and we had to kind of use like a warthog shader in order to fix the texture a little bit. But this is the original texture that's using. That's not custom or anything, but the model is custom. And applying the shader also took a little bit of custom modding work as well. So this all seems to suggest, including the Halo 2 first-person arms and the Halo Reach Elite first-person body, it all seems to suggest that at one point in Halo development, at any of those games, that Bungie was planning to add some kind of decapitation or dismemberment mechanic, but for whatever reason they never did. And I don't know if these rat textures were actually made by Bungie themselves. It is possible that Bungie just found some stock 3D model or stock texture for rats on the internet, and they just simply applied it and just not used the meat part of the rats. But if they did make it themselves, then that would suggest that at some point in each of the Halo games, apparently, that they were thinking of adding some kind of feature like this. But if that's the case, then I guess they never included that because they didn't want Halo 3 to be or any Halo game to be super gory or super violent. Well, that would be my guess, at least. I don't know that for a fact, it's my theory, but it would make sense because this is not the first Halo game that Bungie has done something like this. But like I said, the Halo 3 rats, while the texture is there, unlike the other Halo games, it is totally unused in the game. But it is there in the game files. But yeah, so there you guys have it. That is the little dark secret of the Halo 3 rat, the one that everyone memes about, that you probably didn't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did find it interesting, make sure to leave a like. Anything else we need to look into or check out, just let me know in the comments below. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time in my next video. Bye guys!